Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham Eljak. You are a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by the following publishers. We have the Mythos Games Eros Engine core rulebook. This is a standalone tabletop RPG that you can also apply to other tabletop role-playing games to represent situations of passion, romance, and the physicality of intimate encounters. Definitely check it out. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Detri Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have also released the Pay What You Want tabletop RPG, Daughters of Lamb, where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. Then we have the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products and check out their free tabletop RPG, the Red Roleplaying Game, a generic system that is able to handle any sort of theme, genre, flavor, setting that you can think of. You will find the links to all of these amazing publishers in the description and in the pinned comment as well. Today I continue my review series featuring Mutant Year Zero Zone Wars. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review series featuring this skirmish tabletop game that includes solo and cooperative rules, it's in the post-apocalypse. Please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about characters and weapons. In this starter box, this core box, rather the core box, you have 4 factions, but you only have miniatures for 2 of the factions. You have miniatures for the Arch Mutants, which is a closely knit group of human mutants searching for their origin. You have the GenLab Tribe, a group of intelligent animal mutants that have won their freedom. But if you want to use the miniatures of the Nova Cult and the Mechatron Hive, then you need the expansion. However, remember that this is the core box, so you have all of the material here concerning the core of the system. And what about these characters? How are they represented in game terms? You have the attributes: ranged, melee, survival, and health. They are pretty self-explanatory. You have ranged for range combat situations, melee for melee combat, etc. Survival is a special case. It is a measure of your ability to stay alive in the dangers of the zone, confronting the many hazards and creatures. And health is pretty much your well-being. It shows how many points of damage the model can take before being broken. When you are broken, you are unable to keep fighting until you recover. We will talk more about that in the other parts of this review series. Now, what about attribute rolls? You roll 6-sided dice in this game. That means that you have a dice pool depending on your attribute. You make a roll and you must roll at least a 6 or a symbol of these proprietary dice that are included in the core box. You can also push or re-roll a roll of dice for ranged or melee, but not survival. But there is a risk of damaging your weapon and a chance of gaining M points. They are mutation points or module points. We will talk more about that in a future part of this review series. Concerning the mutations and modules, these are special powers and effects. That's what you need to know about them. You obtain them by pushing your roll, but if you push your roll, there is always a chance of rolling a 1 and your weapon could end up damaged. Concerning your weapons, you have melee and ranged weapons. In the case of ranged weapons, they are represented mechanically by range, bonus, and special. Because of the useful measuring stick included in the game, you don't have to be very precise counting the inches or centimeters. No. You have close, medium, long, and unlimited. That is it. Unlimited is any point in the table that your character is able to see. In the case of bonus, a ranged weapons bonus tells you how accurate and hard hitting it is. This is the number of the dice or gear dice because it's important to make that distinction. That you roll based on your ranged attribute, you add that to the bonus of the ranged weapon. It's a composite dice pool, so if you have an attribute of 2 and the weapon has a bonus of 1, 3 dice in total. If a weapon has special rules to apply, you will find this in the special section of the weapon. In the case of melee weapons, it's pretty much the same thing. With a bonus added to the attack, your dice pool will be larger when compared to your normal attribute roll. But it's important to note, and logical of course, that you can only employ melee weapons against another model that is on base contact with your own base. You also have special features for your melee weapons, of course. And this concludes this part of the review series. In the next part, we are going to talk about the game round. So it's all very simple. Your characters are represented by attributes. Some of those attributes, namely ranged, melee, and survival, are used in various checks. You have weapons, be it ranged weapons, melee weapons, that have a range indicating where you can employ that weapon. Maybe you can only use it against close targets, against medium distance targets. In the case of melee, only against characters that are right next to you. The bonus applies to your roll. So if you normally have a dice pool of 2 or 3 because of your natural attributes, well, guess what? This weapon gives you a bonus of +1 or +2. So that's +1 die or +2 dice added to your dice pool. You get to roll more dice. But there are also special features to it. It depends on the type of weapon that you are employing. Thank you for watching this part of the review series. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master, and remember, I'm going to use one of my tabletop RPG sayings. After all, it's Mutant Year Zero. It's based on the tabletop RPG. In tabletop role-playing games, you're not telling stories about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.